In a quiet town where life seemed peaceful and predictable, a darkness was quietly growing, one that would soon shatter lives and leave a community in shock. This is the tragic story of two twin brothers, James and David Carter, who at just 24 years old would become infamous for a crime so brutal and senseless that it would ripple through their lives and the lives of everyone around them. From the moment they were born, James and David were inseparable. They shared everything: toys, secrets, dreams of a better future. Their bond was unbreakable, a true twin connection that seemed to define their childhood. Their mother, Linda Carter, was a single mother who worked tirelessly, long hours, often cleaning houses just to keep a roof over their heads and food on the table. Linda loved her boys fiercely, dreaming of a future where her children could escape poverty and find success. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps us grow and bring you more great stories. Now let's get back to the story. Despite her sacrifices, life was hard. Over the years, Linda's health declined and she became frail and exhausted. Yet, she pushed herself forward, holding on to hope that her boys would succeed, that they would carve out a better life for themselves. She believed in their potential, in their innocence, in their bond. But as they grew older, something changed. The innocence of childhood faded, replaced by restlessness and desire. The boys, once carefree and full of hope, began to feel trapped, stuck in a small town with limited opportunities. They longed for wealth, respect, and a future beyond their humble beginnings. Their dissatisfaction grew into frustration, and that frustration started to lead them down darker paths. They began associating with the wrong crowd, men involved in illegal activities such as arms dealing, extortion, and violence. The once peaceful town started to feel uneasy as rumors of crime and danger increased. The twins, eager to escape their circumstances, saw an opportunity they believed would change everything: a quick way to wealth, power, and respect. Their target was Richard Hayes, a wealthy local businessman known for his influence and assets. Hayes had built his empire through years of hard work and connections. To the twins, he was an obstacle, someone standing in the way of their ambitions. They believed that eliminating Hayes would give them control over his assets and open the doors to a new life. One cold night, under the cover of darkness, James and David set their plan into motion. They tracked Hayes outside his home, hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and adrenaline. Armed with guns, they moved silently through the shadows, their minds set on executing their deadly plan. Their goal was clear: ambush Hayes, eliminate him, and walk away with his wealth. The night erupted in chaos as shots rang out. Hayes was struck multiple times, collapsing onto the ground, fighting for every breath as blood poured from his wounds. The twins, filled with adrenaline and fear, fled into the darkness, leaving behind a scene of blood and broken lives. For a moment, everything seemed to go according to their plan. But the aftermath was a different story. The community was shaken to its core. Rumors spread quickly. The police launched an intense investigation, reviewing security footage, collecting fingerprints, interviewing witnesses. Clues began to surface. Fingerprints at the scene matched those of the twins. Their financial records showed suspicious transactions, and inconsistencies in their alibis started to emerge. The police worked tirelessly, following every lead, every tip. The twins, sensing the pressure, grew paranoid. They started acting suspiciously, fidgeting, avoiding questions, making mistakes. Law enforcement tracked them down months later, ultimately finding them hiding out in a rundown apartment. When the police stormed the hideout, they uncovered weapons, incriminating documents, and enough evidence to directly link the brothers to the murder of Richard Hayes. They were arrested and charged with murder, conspiracy, and attempted cover-up. The court found them guilty beyond any doubt and sentenced them to life imprisonment. No parole, no chance of escape. Back home, their mother, Linda Carter, was devastated. When she learned what her sons had done, her world shattered. Her heart, already fragile, broke completely. She was overwhelmed by grief and despair. Her health, already weakened by years of hardship, rapidly declined. The grief was too much to bear. Within months, Linda Carter passed away, leaving behind a family torn apart and a community in mourning. Her death marked the tragic end of a family that once held hope, now broken by greed and violence. The twin brothers, once inseparable, now spent their days behind cold, steel bars, their lives forever changed, their futures lost to darkness. Their story became a haunting reminder of how ambition and desperation, when unchecked, can destroy everything, including love, family, and innocence. Today, James and David sit in separate cells, haunted by their actions and the lives they stole. Their childhood bond, once so strong, is now a distant memory, replaced by regret and remorse. Their story echoes through the small town and beyond, a stark warning about the destructive power of greed and the tragic consequences of choosing a path of violence. Their lives serve as a cautionary tale that ambition without morality can lead to destruction, that greed can turn love into chaos, and that sometimes the greatest loss is the loss of innocence. The twin brothers who once shared everything are now prisoners, not only of their cells but also of their own guilt. And so, their tragic story remains a somber reminder, a haunting reflection on how darkness can consume even the strongest bonds, and how the pursuit of quick riches can lead to a lifetime of suffering. Their legacy is one of sorrow, a stark warning to all who hear it that some sins come at the highest price, paid not just by the perpetrators but by everyone they touch.